My name is Lucas. I am the founder of Data Marketing School. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to set up Matomo Analytics with Google Tag Manager. I just created a new Google Tag Manager container and I am using my demo shop here on which I've got some demo products and all the e-commerce funnel. I'm going to show you how to install Matomo Analytics with Google Tag Manager with the tag templates I created. So the first thing that you need to do is to install what we call the configuration tag, which will allow you to send page views to Matomo. Here you can see my Matomo instance on Matomo Cloud. So what I'm going to do here in Google Tag Manager under tags, I'm going to click on new here, discover more tag types in the community gallery. Click here and then let's search for Matomo. And here you can see my tag templates by Data Marketing School. Here you can select Matomo Analytics configuration, add to workspace, add. In Matomo instance, here you need to enter your instance URL, and here this is dms.matomo.cloud, so I'm going to enter this dms.matomo.cloud and the Matomo site ID, which is 1 in my case. But if you don't know what is your Matomo site ID, you can go to Matomo here, click on the gear icon on the top right corner, then go to websites, manage, and here you can see my demo shop website. So you may have several of them, and here you can see the ID, which is 1 in my case. You also have other settings inside the configuration tag. For now, we won't look at it. On the trigger, you can trigger this on initialization, all pages. You can click save and save again. And now we do have our configuration tag, which will send page views to our Matomo instance. So now you can open the preview and you can see on initialization that my tag fired correctly. If I go back to my Matomo instance, you can see here that I've got my page view from tagassistant.google.com because I'm using the GTM preview. But here, this little gray folder means that Matomo received a page view. Now I'm going to explain how to track your e-commerce website with Matomo. So the first thing you need to check is inside your Matomo settings, inside websites, manage, click on the edit button here. If you scroll down, you need to make sure that your website is an e-commerce website. So e-commerce needs to be enabled here. I'm going to set up the e-commerce part. So I'm going to go back to the gallery and select another Matomo tag template. Select the Matomo Analytics e-commerce tracking, add to workspace, add. And here you can see that you can select the e-commerce event type. You can select category view, product view, cart update, and order. I'm going to select category view. And here you can enter a category name. But if you do have a GA4 data layer, the tag will take this data from the data layer automatically. So you may not need to enter a value here. On my demo shop here, I've got a plugin that is doing the data layer for me. And here you can see that I've got a view item list GA4 data layer standard event. So I'm going to add a new trigger, which is going to be a view item list custom event trigger. And I'm going to name this DLE for data layer event view item list. So let's name it MTM for Matomo category view. Let's click save. Now let's open the preview again. Okay, so now you can see here that on initialization, I've got my Matomo Analytics configuration tag. On view item list, I've got my Matomo category view. If I go back to my Matomo dashboard, I've got another page view here. And if I click on view visitor profile, you can see that I've got 2 page views. And the second one should have the information about the category view, but here it's not the case. It's not the case because the category view and the product view information is sent through the page view hit, and if the page view hit is sent before the category view tag is fired, the page view won't contain the information about the category view or the product view. To prevent this default behavior, you need to go back to the Matomo Analytics configuration tag. You need to scroll down to e-commerce settings and you can delay the page view, so you can try 1000 milliseconds. With this delay, the page view will be sent after the category category view or product view tag is fired and will contain the required information. So let's go back to Matomo. You can see our third page view here. And if we go to view visitor profile, you can see that on this one, you have the viewed product category, which is clothing here. So now it's working correctly. So now we're going to configure the product view. So click on new here, select again your Matomo Analytics e-commerce tracking, select product view here. You don't have to enter any information because it will again automatically understand it from the GA4 data layer. Well, if you don't have a GA4 data layer, you can create data layer variables and specify the path to the required information. But if you do have a GA4 data layer, you don't have to touch anything here. On the trigger section, you can create a new trigger, which is going to be view item, DLE view item. Click save. Then you can name your tag mtm-product view. Click save. Now we're going to open the preview again. And now if I click on my hat here, and I look into my visitor profile. Here, if you hover the hat, you can see that you have the product name, the product SKU, the product price, and also the product category. So don't worry about this before. It's because I did some testing. And let's go back to Google Tag Manager. So now we've got our product view, our category view as well. And I'm going to create a new tag to track the cart update. So again, e-commerce tracking, select cart update. You need to trigger this tag on add to cart and remove from cart events if you do have them. And this will automatically send the cart data to Matomo. You can trigger this on add to cart event and also remove from cart. I'm adding another trigger, remove from cart, DLE, remove from cart. You don't have anything else to do. If you don't have a GA4 data layer, you can click on override items array and you can specify the items array if this is not e-commerce.items. You can also override the array key that this tag will look for inside your products array. So I won't touch this because I do have a GA4 data layer. I'm going to name this MTM cart update. Save, and I'm going to open the preview. So here I'm going to add my hat to cart. In my cart, I've got one item, which is my hat, which is 12 euros. In Matomo, you can hover the cart here, and you can see that my hat is inside my cart. Let's add a jacket as well. So now I've got two items, and here you can see that my cart updated accordingly. Let's say I want to remove my hat here. So now you can see that I only have my jacket left. Let's say I want to add as well my shirt green. Okay, and here you can see that my shirt green was added. This is working with the add to cart and remove from cart events on the data layer. So you can see here that on any add to cart, cart related event, Matomo cart update tag was fired. For e-commerce tracking, there is only one tag left, which is the order. So let's click on new. Let's select the Matomo Analytics e-commerce tracking tag and select order. And here, the same story. If your data layer is correctly implemented with the GA4 standard, you don't need to touch anything here. But if it's not the case, you can create data layer variables and specify the values and also override the items array. So you can trigger this tag on purchase. Click save. Let's name this MTM order. Click save and open the preview again. Let's go to the checkout page. I've got my information here and I'm going to click on place order. And now in my data layer, I will have a purchase event, which is triggered here. And my tag was triggered as well. And here on Matomo, I've got my order, which is a 50 euros order because I've got 5 euros of shipping. And if I click here, view visitor profile, and if I hover it, I've got the detail of my revenue. You can see that under the shipping section, I've got 5 euros. Inside this revenue, I've got the different products that I bought on my website. You can see that if you do have a GA4 data layer, it's pretty simple to install Matomo with my tag templates. You can also check other tag templates, which are the Matomo Actions tag and also the Matomo Content Tracking, which is something specific to content. Let's add the Matomo Analytics Actions tag, for example. Let's click Add. Here, this Matomo Actions tag can help you send page views. So if you want to send page views as well separately from the configuration tag, you'll still need the configuration tag, but if you do want to control when page views are sent with a specific tag, you can do it with this one. You can also send events. You can also send goals to Matomo. You can also send out links, download. You can also send a site search. Note that if you want to send site search events to Matomo, you need to enable this in your website settings. Click on edit here, and here under site search, make sure that your site search tracking is enabled. If you use my tag template to trigger the search event that you send to Matomo, you can disable this because you won't need the default search parameters. And you can save it here. So this is the end of this tutorial. I won't show you how to send events, how to send site search. Maybe this will be another video. So this is basically all you need to do for e-commerce tracking to make it work with Matomo. It may change, of course, depending on your data layer, depending on your website, depending on how events are triggered in your data layer. You will find below this video a blog post explaining how to configure these tag templates. And you will also find a link to the Data Marketing School community. If you do have questions, you can join the community.